Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Center for Practical Spirituality, where we get you calibrated and started for the whole entire week. Let's go ahead and begin with our statement of being. Oh, and before we begin, let me go ahead and make a real quick announcement, okay? Please know that you are more than welcome to come in person here at Center for Practical Spirituality. We are actually, let me see if I can find that address real quick, because I want to give that to you. We are, if you look up First Unitarian Universalist Church, we are going to be located in building number 5 at First Unitarian Universalist Church. We're at 7150 IH 10. And so if you know the Crossroads area, it's like we're across on the other side of where Crossroads and the Target are at. So we're across the expressway.
We're the highest point.
We're really the highest point, which is true. So you'll see the First Unitarian Universalist Church, and then you'll go in on the very last entrance, and it's going to be towards the back of the campus. You will see a tree out there. It's kind of like just one little tree. And then it's going to be gate, if I'm not mistaken, gate number 5. And we are building number 5, okay? So you are more than welcome to actually attend in person if you'd like to. I guess, we didn't make that announcement several times, and I'll go ahead and continue to remind everybody. So let's go ahead and get started into our wonderful statement of being, which we will all be able to say together. God is all, both visible and invisible, one presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. And so it is. I am, today I know that we have our wonderful, fiesta going. And so, of course, everybody is, having fun at fiesta. I haven't gone to fiesta in quite a while, but I just see everybody else doing it. So I'm happy that everybody else is out there, most definitely. So let us go ahead and get started. I know a lot of people have been kind of wondering, it's kind of like, okay, so how do we affirm and confirm and state, claim, and proclaim that only good things are actually occurring whenever we see the chaos that's been happening? So I really want for all of us to understand that the cosmic consciousness can be very different once we start from within. So who's the only person that we can change? We can only change ourselves. And so one of the things that you can do is surround yourself with other like-minded people. And I'm going to say this, the cosmic consciousness is changing and they are elevating and they're starting to see, what it is to actually be a part of truth principles. And those truth principles are going to be love, joy, happiness, acceptance, and also being in integrity, high moral values, and a great heart of compassion and empathy and sympathy. Okay, so with that being stated, what I'd like for us to state, claim, and proclaim is the following. We are in perfect divine order, and the very best is here right now. So when we start stating what we desire right now, we're starting to create our very next minute, our very next second, our very next week, very next, month, whatever it is. And so we have to start changing our subconscious mind. And one of the things that recently occurred for me is there's a certain project happening, where I work, and I was very upset, needless to say, because certain things were just not getting done. And so I've had to change my thinking, change my life. And I've now started saying, thank you, God, because that, is now completed easily and effortlessly and faster than 1, 2, 3. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the narrative. I am actually reprogramming the subconscious mind so that I can get those specific results. Now, I'm not going to argue with people. I'm not going to be fighting with people. I am going to do it from a metaphysical perspective. In other words, everything is energy. There is not a spot that God is not. And so whenever I start stating and telling, Dumbo ears, God himself, all of a sudden, it's kind of like they listen. And what I'm doing is I'm putting in the order and I'm saying, thank you. My order is now complete. Everything that I desired and that I've seeked, asked, and knocked for is already done. What did I say? It's already done. Not, I hope it gets done. No. Oh, well, I pray it gets done. No. It's on its way. Because if you say it's on its way, pues nunca va a llegar. Oh, it's on its way. Oh, it's on its way. Ay, no, hombre. No, that's it. No more. You are going to speak in authority, in confidence, and you're going to state, claim, and proclaim exactly like Jesus did whenever he said, peace be still. And what happened whenever he spoke in confidence and integrity, as well as with that knowingness? What ended up happening is that the world took its command, his command, and actually went ahead and obeyed. Now, I wanted to share that with you guys because it's a lot of people have a whole bunch of questions, and they're just like, oh my goodness, what is happening right now is this. We are learning what we no longer want and what we're no longer going to accept as a part of our understanding. It's now changing. The narrative is changing. We had to go through this so that we could understand of what we were no longer going to be accepting. It's kind of like whenever a young lady or a young man, they're in a relationship, and what ends up happening is in that relationship, we're in that relationship, and it's at first it's like the honeymoon. Oh, it's so great, and then what happens? Then the real colors start showing up. And you start identifying and saying, okay, you know what? This is not what I want. And I'm going to say this. A gentleman pursued me. And so whenever he pursued me, I went ahead. It was really nice. It was really great, so on and so forth. It was fantastic. And all of a sudden, what ended up happening is that his real true colors kind of came out. And I was like, oh, this is not what I want. No, I deserve better. I deserve the respect, the integrity. So guess who had to respect Katrina before anybody else respected Katrina? Katrina. And so guess what Katrina did? Katrina said, bye. Yeah, see you later. Oh, this is just not going to work out, honey bunny. No, it's not. And guess what? It's kind of like, and that person kind of did it, to an extent, was intimidated by where it was going. So, it was very interesting. The gentleman used specific words that I now kind of toss back at him every once in a while. And so, it is absolutely hilarious whenever I kind of reiterate the same words. And he just kind of looks at me like really? And I'm like, yeah. Mm. And so what I was able to come to an understanding is that I had to care for myself so much that I would not lose myself in trying to please someone that can't even be pleased on their own. I am not somebody that's here to make other people happy. I am here to share knowledge, skills, understanding, wisdom, to help you to actually discover yourself and who you are. and be able to identify what you desire in this life. So in many senses, what I'm doing for everybody right now is I'm sharing with you that the cosmic consciousness is elevating and shifting to a higher level of understanding as well as commitment. One person ended up saying, we are actually finding out where our morals stand. And those and our ethics. And so therefore, those of us that are no longer speaking to certain people, it is because of the fact that 30 and 40, the energy levels of 30 and 40 do not coincide. Okay. So 30 is right here, 40 is right here. Do 30 and 40 come together? No, they do not. Those are two different energetic levels. Okay. So guess what? When the 30 no longer understands the 40 and the 40 no longer understands the 30, they are not able to be in each other's what? Presence, space. So with that being stated, I want for all of us to understand that as you continue to state, claim, and proclaim, and you say it out loud, that you are now ready to elevate to the new higher level of consciousness and awareness, and you are letting go of your old beliefs, those beliefs that are no longer serving you or this world or this universe. All of a sudden, you are now going to elevate. So do not be surprised if you end up, it's like you may already have a small circle of friends. Well, that circle of friends may end up becoming even smaller. And you know what? I'm going to say it out loud. That is okay. Because when it is time to, there's an affirmation. I now let go of everything and everybody that is no longer part of the divine plan of my life, and everything and everybody that is no longer part of the divine plan of my life now lets me go. Say that 3 times. And all of a sudden, I refuse to be misery's company. 1. I refuse to be misery's company. 2. I refuse to be misery's company. 3. As a world, as a United States, as a country, as human beings and as spiritual beings having a human experience, I invite all of us to continue to say, we refuse to be misery's company. We refuse to be misery's company. We refuse to be misery's company. And so it is done. Easily and effortlessly. Now, let me go ahead and give you a precursor there. Whenever I said that for quite a while, I think I did it for like about a week or something like that. By the time I knew it, one of my boyfriends that I was dating, had been dating for quite a while, he dumped me. And so then all of a sudden I was like, oh, well, now I figured out who was miserable. I dodged a bullet with that one. And it wasn't until later in life that I was able to recognize that. And so when one door closes, what happens? Another door opens. When one relationship ends, you just need to know that better is already on its way. It's already here for you. And whenever something comes to an end, it doesn't mean, it's come to an end for a reason. It's for specific reasons. Many times, our guides have heard conversations that we were not privy to. And at that point, we were very easily and effortlessly taken out of those situations so that then therefore we could continue to be on our life's purpose, whatever that is. And it is for our highest good. Our good, better, best. It's kind of like, and I'm going to say this, many times, one of the things that we have to understand is that our good is the enemy of our best. What do I mean by that? We get complacent with the good. Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Could be better.
It's like, but you are not allowing yourself to go the next step, because you're going to be uncomfortable. Because you are getting out of your comfort zone. Because of the fact that you don't know those people, you don't know that situation, you don't know. No, you do know. You know that you're being called to actually get out of your comfort zone and to go beyond what you have been doing for the past 10 years. It's change. The only constant that we have, ladies and gentlemen, is change. And Jesus gave us a way to be able to almost, be kind of like a metamorphosis in many senses, a chameleon in many senses. Because what he did was he never changed, his soul, stayed constant. It was the surroundings around him that he ended up actually being able to, like a chameleon, go into certain things, and then he was able to actually understand. It's kind of like, oh, it's better to understand than it is to be understood. And so what was happening was that when he was going into these rooms, whenever he was talking to these people, they were in shame, or they were in disbelief, or they were in whatever energy level that they were in. And all of a sudden he would say to them, look at me. No, you are worthy. And I love you. And it is time for you to see. It is time for you to take that leap of faith. It is time for you to do better than even I. So with that said, I just wanted for all of us to understand that at this point in time, we are no longer misery's company. And more importantly, we are now letting go of the old so that we can embrace the new. By saying, thank you. Thank you, God, for showing me exactly what I no longer want to be a part of. And I am now embracing my very best and highest good. And it is, as spiritual beings, what we're doing is we are actually embarking on our life's purpose. And that is to speak truth, to be love, and to stand up for those that are oppressed. FYI. Okay. So, with that being said, promises, foreshadowing of law. In truth, there is no failure, for all truth is now fulfilled. We receive the promises just as soon as we can see the ever-present fullness. All things are ours. All things are ours. All things await our recognition and acceptance. This is the law. Ye shall seek me and find me when ye shall search for me with all of your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. Now, I'm going to say something. It's going to be a little controversial, because there are some people that, just like my father, may he rest in peace, used to say, de los dientes pa fuera, which means from the teeth out. That's all they're doing it. That's how they're doing it. Only de los dientes pa fuera. Only from the teeth out are they believing in a Jesus. Are they believing in love? Are they believing in a higher consciousness and awareness? Are they believing in being a person of integrity and of truth, and being a change for the better and for our greatest and best good? It is from the teeth out that many people, they are really the wolves in sheepskin. And that's where you use discernment. And that's when you shall seek me and find me, and ye shall search for me with all of your heart. When you just do it from the exterior and not from the interior, that's when you just all of a sudden you can see it, you can feel it, you know it. You're just like, okay, there's something wrong with this person. There's something not right. There's something, they're preaching, they're teaching, they're stating this, they're stating that. You know, it's kind of like every time, you know, I had somebody tell me just the other day, it's like, you know, Katrina, it really bothered me when all of a sudden they started just preaching at me. And I just kind of, you know, the person stating that other person was preaching at them, she got just turned off. She was like, it just did not rub me in the right way. It didn't feel authentic. And I just kind of sat back and I was just like, wow. I said, really? They're like, you know, I knew that they were just saying it, you know, just to look good. I said, I'm so sorry that you experienced that. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. And whenever that young lady shared that with me, I instantly thought to myself, like, wow, you know, she discerned something within 2 seconds flat. I mean, boom. And all of a sudden, you know, she knew that she was going to be judged by the person who was talking to her. And she knew that it wasn't from the heart that that person was speaking from. And whenever she shared this with me, I said, I'm just so sorry that you experienced that. I said, I pray that I haven't, you know, insulted you or judged you or, you know, made you feel that I'm just pretending. She goes, oh, no. She goes, we know you're not pretending. She goes, I can see it. And I was like, huh? But people can read what? Energy. Yes, Kayan, you were going to say something?
No, that's right.
Oh, so, you know, we can read the energy. Whenever you walk into a room and that you know somebody had been fighting, you can feel the energy. What's a higher vibration than love? Authenticity. Being authentic. See, one of the things that people know about Katrina, Chaplain Katrina, Reverend Katrina, just Katrina, is if you go and you ask her for her opinion, you're going to get it. And you may not like it. You know, because I don't sugarcoat anything. And that can be a strong suit, and then it's also my worst downfall. Because if somebody tries, oh, Katrina, look, you know, that baby looks so beautiful. I say nothing. Nothing. You know, if that baby, that's a baby. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But if it's a gorgeous baby and I, you know, that energy is just so magnetic and so beautiful and so wonderful. And I go to that baby and I'm like, oh my God, you know, you'll see it. I need deliverance from my own face, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I really do. Now, I want for us to remember this, and this is something that we need to remember, especially right now. No weapons that is formed against us, these shall prosper. In righteousness shall that be established. Thou shalt be far from oppression, for thou shalt not fear, thou and from terror, for it shall not come near thee. You know, we have to continue to be focused that only love is prevailing and that only the very best is coming from this whole entire experience, and that we are learning from this whole entire experience what we do not want in our lives anymore. Now, see with the light of love. We're being invited to see with the light of love at this very moment. Why? Because Jesus saw, you know, Judas. He saw Judas with love. He saw the soldiers, that came after him. One of his apostles cut one of the guy's ears, and Jesus was like, no, it's not the violence. And he went and he repaired the ear right there and then. Because if we know a man named Jesus Christ, what he has taught us is to love unconditionally. And that, my brothers and sisters, is a tough order to follow. Because in this world, it's duality. In this world, it's duality. And that duality, if you lean more towards the negative vibrations, which is going to be the negative energy, anger, resentment, hate, remorse, judgment, revenge. Oh my gosh, revenge is so huge. Really.
Envy's another.
And what?
Envy.
Envy. Oh my goodness. Lust, greed, gluttony. All of these particular things. Those are, darker energy. Okay? And so when you're in that darker energy, what do you attract more of? Of that darker energy. But when you are in authenticity and you're in love, joy, peace, happiness, it's a choice. What's our superpower, ladies and gentlemen? The power to choose. And so here, and Jesus has given this, and it's not just Jesus. We're looking at Muhammad. We're looking at Krishna. We're looking at Kali. We're looking at Mary Magdalene. We're examining, Mother Teresa. We're examining Dorothy Day. We're examining a Father Oscar Romero. We're examining, all of these particular people that what they did was bringing compassion and love and, going away from the material things of this world. Now, having material things in this world is great. Don't get me wrong. But whenever you start, for instance, worshiping those material things more than you do, and you stop nurturing your soul, and you stop caring for others, that's where we're having to really, kind of meditate and start doing some inner reflection. Okay? See with the light of love. The quality of light by which we scrutinize our lives has a direct bearing upon the product which we live. When you are living a life that the first thing you do in the mornings is you whenever you wake up and you open your eyes, you're like thankful. You're thankful. You're in gratitude. I get one more day. What am I going to do with today? What am I going to do with it? Because you realize on a daily basis, there is no guarantee that you're going to wake up tomorrow. Or that that as you're driving, something may, you just never know. And so I am very thankful on a daily basis. I wake up and I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. I'm still here. And then I decide to go back to sleep, because it's 3:00 in the morning, something like that, but I'm like, oh, and then I look at the numbers and I say, okay, what are those numbers trying to tell me? Everything is speaking to us. There is not a spot that God is not. Truly, truly. All the power in the universe is with you. See, the universe isn't out there. Yes, there is a universe, but the universe isn't just out there. The universe is right here. We are God in expression. We are the universe. Because whenever we leave this vessel, this womb called the body, we go back to our original state. We go back to our wonderful state of consciousness and awareness, and that is unconditional love, and that is the energy that we truly come from. And so we continue here. It says, as the universe is run by infinite mind, infinite intelligence, divine mind, so our life is controlled by our thinking. Ignorance of this keeps us in a bondage. Knowledge will free us. What is the ticket? Knowledge, wisdom, intelligence, and as well as, knowingness. What does that do for us? Knowledge is what? Knowledge is what? Knowledge is power. When you know, you are able to have a certain power that you can utilize and be able to help others. So, if knowledge is power, why do you think, reading is so important? Do you know that, and I'm going to share this with all of you because I just heard it today. And so knowledge is power, right? So here's some knowledge. When you can read 30 minutes a day from a book, from, whatever it is, but you read 30 minutes a day, you are preventing your mind from getting dementia. If you sit in front of the television and continuously just watch the television, guess what you are bringing about? Dementia. So, do your word cross puzzles, do your word search, read a book, go to the library. Grab a book, read for 30 minutes, read whatever it is, but read. Read so that you can have knowledge. Read so that you can, be in the know. Read so that then therefore you can be, ahead of the game. And here it says, by what quality of light do you scrutinize your life? What a wonderful question. Am I seeing clearly, or is it as through a glass darkly? What are the ideas that cloud my vision? So, I've been called everything I've been called all these different words, all these different names. I've been, labeled in different, and I'm sitting back and I'm like going, that's your opinion. It's not my truth. And opinions are like, whatsies. So, you know what? Even for me, whenever I give an opinion, it is only an opinion. But whenever we're stating facts, whenever we're looking at data, whenever we're looking at scientific proof, then that is a little different. And that's when you become powerful and you have certain knowledge. And you can make a difference in this world. That's why reading is so important. So here it says, I remember the lyrics to a wonderful old song by Johnny Nash. I can see you clearly now. The rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, sunny, sunshiny day. Each day we have the opportunity to see clearly. And yet some of us, we choose not to. We choose to continue to see through those darkened glasses that we have. And each day we have that opportunity to see clearly, see our oneness with spirit, know our union with divine mind. As we see clearly using the light that is love, we give ourselves grace, a grace to be and to unfold according to our unique process. What if we are doing it perfectly? What if we could see what God sees? We are spiritual beings having a human experience. Look at how amazingly good you are doing just that. I see myself by the light of love and live in perfect harmony. When we start seeing ourselves for the beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely vivacious and spectacular spiritual beings that we truly are, all of a sudden we're going to have a change of awareness, a change of consciousness. When you see yourself, and somebody said it really, really simply the other day. The guy said, he goes, when they know that the money is in the bank and that everything is well taken care of, there is no doubt. They're not worrying whatsoever. Why? Because easily and effortlessly things are just flowing in. They're not even thinking about it. They're not even worried. But the second you start worrying, the second that you start, how is that going to happen? How is that going to happen? All of a sudden you're limiting who? You're limiting the universe. And the universe is what? Unlimited. And so I want for all of us to be reminded and to know that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And as that spiritual being that is coming exactly from where Jesus Christ came as well as Buddha and Krishna and Martin Luther King, as well as, all of the saints and all of the choirs of angels, you are just as magnificent as they are. But do you believe it? That is the question. So, we are all in the likeness and the image of Source, of infinite intelligence, of the creator of all. And so my invitation to you is to remember that you are an absolutely divine, beautiful spiritual being living your life's purpose. And my next invitation to you is for you to say, show me my next step in my life's purpose clearly. Show me my next step in my life's purpose. Show me my next step in my life's purpose clearly and easily, where I can identify it and embrace it. Just embrace it. So I want to kind of shift gears a little bit. I have kind of noticed a lot of people have been kind of complaining about their backs, lower back, middle back, upper back, and so I want to go ahead and kind of talk to you in reference to our backs. Our back represents the support of life. I know that life always supports me. It represents the support of life. So if you're having back problems, it is because of the fact that you do not feel that life is supporting you. So we invite you to affirm, I know that life always supports me. I know that life always supports me. I know that life always supports me. Now, the other thing that I heard just the other day, and this is something that I'm going to be practicing myself, is that apparently a lawyer shared with somebody else, can't remember exactly who, but that the lawyer went ahead and said, I went ahead and sent, my spirits into the courthouse even before I got there to make everything right. Oh, really? So guess what? How many times, have I not said for myself, love goes before me and makes things right. Love goes before me and makes things right. Love goes before me and makes things right. God, you've got the help, you've got the reins on this one. Archangel, whichever it is, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel, there's several archangels. Go before me and make things right. We need to start using the gifts that we have been given. Stop limiting yourself. One of the tricks of the trades for me as a student was to grab the syllabus, and at the very top of that syllabus I would put an A+. That's it. An A+, okay? If you can dream it, then you can what? You can do it. Lower back. Lower back is the fear of money, lack of financial support. So our affirmation is going to be, I trust the process of life. All I need is always taken care of. I am safe. Once again, I trust the process of life. All I need is always taken care of, and I am safe. Once again, I trust the process of life. All I need is always taken care of, and I am safe. The middle part of your back. Guilt, stuck in all that stuff back there. Get off my back. You know, the other day I had, oh my goodness, my back was hurting. It was one part of it, and it was like right in the middle. And you know, it's kind of like I was thinking about that. It's like right now that I read this, it was like, because I was so upset in reference to certain things. And I remember kind of like saying, oh, I wish I would just get off my back, you know. So this is the affirmation. I release the past. I am free to move forward with love in my heart. I release the past. I am free to move forward with love in my heart. I release the past. I am free to move forward with love in my heart. Do you know how profound that sounds? You know, and if in you know, and just say in Jesus' name, in the love of God, in the love of, you know, in the name of all that is, of the creator of all. You know, but I release the past. I am free to move forward with love in my heart. Now your upper back, all up here. Lack of emotional support, feeling unloved, holding back love. Man, oh man, whenever I go and I see my massage therapist, she's like, Katrina. I'm like, what? She goes, this is a person that you didn't, you know, you really wanted to kill, but you didn't. This is a person that you want to probably back, you know, kind of like slap, and you didn't. And this right here, oh, I don't even know what to tell you. She goes, we're just lucky. And as she's massaging me, you know, getting in there. And the reason is because of the fact that many times I was holding back in love. I was feeling unloved, you know, especially whenever I was, you know, there were certain things that were actually occurring. Stress, okay? There was stress. And lots of times your upper back, you're feeling like, oh my gosh, you know, what's going on? And that's when you have to say, I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. See, once again, let's go ahead and say it. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. If I would have known half of the information that I know today, when I was 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, oh, honey, I would have been unstoppable. It's kind of like, wow. I mean, really. So that's why I am so proud of those young, the younger generation that is actually learning all of these wonderful truths. And they're putting it into practice, you know, as children, as 4-year-olds, as 5-year-olds, as 10-year-olds, because it is absolutely going to be stupendous to see them in action and the wonderful things that they are now going to be creating. Once again, I love and approve of myself. Life supports me and loves me. Who loves me more than anybody else? Me. God. You know, it's kind of like, okay, so my mom and my dad are gone. And physically they're gone, but they're here. They're here with me, and I speak to them. I know that they're around. You know, there's certain people that have just recently exited this world, and so now they're in the spiritual realm once again, and I can feel them. I can, you know, talk to them, and I have a different connection with them now. but I also know that they're not hurting. So my invitation today, because our topic was, I went ahead and I kind of hit several different topics, but our number one topic today, here, let me go to it. Today was April. No. What date did I? Oh, maybe I did this one over here. I think I did. Ooh. Oh, there it is. See with the light of love. When we are seen with that light of love, I see myself by the light of love and I live in perfect harmony. When we are living from that truth, all of a sudden, life is just so much sweeter, so much better, so much nicer. So I'm inviting you to be the light of the Christ, to be the Buddha mind, to be that God in expression to all that you meet. I really want to say thank you to each and every one of you, for allowing me to come into your space and for allowing me to share, the wisdom that was shared with me many years ago, and I'm still sharing, and I'm still expanding myself, and I'm expanding all of you, and we're going to different heights. We're going to different understanding and awareness of, what really is transpiring from a scientific as well as from a metaphysical, as well as a spiritual, as well as a physical, transformation. And so I really appreciate you guys allowing me to come into your home, to come into your world. And I pray that the message that I send you, the messages that I'm sharing with you, help you. So at this very moment, what I'd like for us to do is I'd like for us to hold our tithes, our offerings, and our prayer requests in our hands. And then for us to say together, divine love in me, as me, and through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And so it is. Well, happy fiesta, ladies and gentlemen. Go out there and crack some cascarones and get into the fiesta mood. Yesterday a corgi went ahead and actually won the little puppy parade over at the King William Fair. And so, just a whole bunch of fun. Continue to enjoy, better days. Better days are here. Isn't that a nice affirmation? Better days are here. Better days are here. Here. They are here now. And and we are all going to be set free. Set free from oppression, set free from anger, set free from those things that are no longer for our very best and highest good. That, my brothers and sisters, is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, without further ado, may the power of the Father, the love of the Son, and the freedom of the Holy Spirit be with you today and always. And so it is. I'm ready for a miracle. I'm ready for a miracle. I'm ready for a miracle today. I've got my mind in tune for one. I'm ready to experience one. I'm ready for a miracle today. My mind is open, ready to receive it. My heart is opened all the way. I do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle. I do accept a miracle today. I do receive a miracle. I do receive a miracle. I do receive a miracle today. Very good, very good. Yay! Love you guys. We'll see each other next Sunday.